Here we go, it's starting now. Picking up where I left off yesterday. I think I was going to start by creating some cooler barrel effects when the barrel launches a player. Let's see, what do I have? Barrels. Barrel enter. Barrel empty is nothing. Barrel is full. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go down to my project folder and go into the barrel animations and create something new. Game objects, barrel, and new animation. And we'll call this body exit. And attach it to our barrel body. Where'd it go? Body exit. And body exit is going to transition to body idle after one full round. Okay, there we go. Now I just have to create the actual animation for it. Returning a text to my fiance. Always an important thing to break for. Okay, go to the barrel body and barrel exit. So let's see, actually just on enter just to see again. On enter, we're just kind of scaling up to 1.25%. I kind of want a big explosive exit effect though. Okay, so on exit, we just like scale it up a lot really quickly and then scale it back down. Really sure what's going to look good. So let's just try 1.5, 1.5, and then back down here to 1, and 1. Nope, that's 11. 1 and just very quickly. I wonder if I could, can I like curve it inwards at the top? No, that would be kind of interesting if I could skew it. But that should be sufficient. Let's open this up. No way to know for sure, except other than just testing it. Private reference variables. I must have something for body enter, yes. So let's just change this to private string barrel body exit equals barrel exit. Make sure I called that the same thing in the animator. Hello, viewer. I see my number has increased from 1 to 2. I am living in exciting times now. Make sure I call this the right thing, otherwise that won't work. There we go. Barrel exit. And now just tell it to actually do that animation at when the player is exiting the barrel. launch player. What do I call this? Body animator dot play barrel exit. Cool. Let's see how this looks. Going to easy difficulty because that is just all I can handle. Very tough game. Well, it's a little effect. It's not really the big effect that I want. I also feel like maybe the explosion sound should be longer. I'm just trying to make it so when the player blasts out of a barrel, the barrel kind of does like a cool explodey effect. I mean, there's some smoke that comes out right now, and the barrel gets a little bigger, but not quite the impact that I'm going for. But fortunately, that is the type of thing that's easy to play around with and change. Let's go to barrel exit. Instead of 1.5. Okay, let's just try making this really blow up. So we're gonna go boom all the way up there too. Well, it would help if I actually recorded the changes. That would definitely help. Okay. Just one really big explosion there. I don't know though, I'm not a graphics guy, so it's all about the trial and error. Try medium this time, because I didn't die quickly enough on easy. Whoa. Oh, I must have changed the default. Okay, I kind of do like that. It's a little exaggerated. Let's make sure the default starting size of this barrel is not 2 in the Y. That looked a little ridiculous. Do I like that though? I have such bigger things I could be working on, but it's so tempting just to make the effects look right. I definitely like that better though. That's definitely more of a explodey type of effect. I feel like maybe the barrel needs to, I don't know, glow or something too when it blasts the player. It really just needs to give that blasting off effect. There we go. Let's just animate, maybe change the color to red, dark red? Not a dark red, just a light red, just so something is going on here. And then animate that back to plain white. Okay, yeah, I think maybe that's what was missing. And then maybe I'll add some particles to it later, but I don't know. I gotta just kind of play around with it and leave it like this for a little bit to see if I like it. Back to medium difficulty. Okay, yeah, that's definitely better. Ooh, terrible shot. I think pillars might be one of the next things I have to work on. But I definitely feel like it needs a more explosive sound when it launches the player now. Like, it does have a blast sound, but it's just not blasty enough. Anyways. Let's take a look. What can I work on next? I think probably something to do with the levels. Okay, did I want to change something with... No, I think I decided I was going to leave the enemy spawning alone. I have percentages to change when time barrels and 0G barrels appear. And time barrels are appearing. Right, I have not checked out auto scroll. Auto scroll could be very broken right now. It probably is because I haven't looked at it at all. And then I just have some stuff here. Oh, that was what I wanted to do. I am going to make it so you can manually move timed barrels around. Okay. So, go into the barrel controller. I'm going to have to add some functionality in here. Okay, so let's just collapse everything. Control MM. Now open everything up so I can actually see where everything is in this script. Okay, private movement related barrels. Yes, I'm going to need a private float timed move speed. Actually, no, this isn't private. This is going to be a public variable. But also, I don't want this move speed attached to the barrel itself. Think about it. This is going to be generic for everything. So variables like that are controlled in the gameplay controller. And so this is going to be here. Under input variables. Okay. And this can go right at the top. So this will be a good one. How quickly the player can manually move timed barrels up and down. Public float timed barrel move speed. It's a long variable name. Time barrel speed. Alright, I have my tooltip to identify what that's all about. And give it a default of, I don't know, 5F. Okay. Now, where do I have, well, not going to be under variables, update right here. But this is movement related, so I'm going to put this under fixed update. Private void fixed update. Barrel movement methods. Okay, well, that's definitely where this is going to go. Private void move timed barrel. Actually, just in case we do anything else, let's just make it more generic. Call it player move barrel. And under fixed update, I'm always going to be calling that method. But we're going to have some conditions in here. Do I have a variable for like contains player? Contains, perfect, I do. That makes my life a lot easier. Contains player. So number one, don't move barrels unless it contains a player. And then also the barrel should be timed. You know what? Let's just make another sub method here. We're going to call this private void move conditions met. And we are going to say here, bool conditions met equals false, return conditions met. And now we're going to say if contains player. And for now, it's going to have to be a timed barrel. We're only going to allow this for timed barrels. Maybe it will change later. Maybe it won't. We'll see. We're going to say if, do I have barrel type? Let's do it as a switch. Switch barrel spawn barrel type. Oh, spawn barrel type, that's why. Why did I call it that? Okay, whatever. Switch state name spawned barrel. Oh no, but I'm referring to this variable. Case. Why was that not coming up before? Was I typing it wrong? Okay, case break. If it meets these conditions, then... Well, first of all, it would help if I put it in the right statement. Then we're going to say conditions met equals true. If not, it'll be conditions false. And now we're just going to say if move conditions are met. Now we can move the barrel. And I'll have to play around with the input settings later. But let's just do if... Let's see how much of this I remember. If input dot get key get key is the one that means that I'm holding it down. Get key key code dot w. Then it's going to be, what's controlling our velocity? Just vector2 body. What is the reference to my rigid body in here called? Oh, barrel body. That's it. Barrel body dot velocity equals new vector2 0 and then whatever the gameplay controller dot instance dot timed barrel speed is going to be. And if input dot get key code dot s, that is s is the down arrow, or barrel body dot velocity equals new vector2 0 and negative gameplay controller dot instance dot timed barrel speed, timed barrel speed, that would be the correct one. And now one very important thing, if I'm doing it this way, I have to make sure that timed barrels never move. So randomize set new barrel moving is moving, no. What is calling to this? Randomize moving. Okay, so where am I determining if stationary barrels are going to be blocked? I think that is in the object spawner. So this is a little, oh right, okay, so I'm actually only ever blocking stationary barrels. In this case, I want the time barrels to always be stationary because they're going to be controlled by the player. I have not set that up at all. Okay, let's think about what the most efficient way to do this is. Suppose I could just say, okay, set barrel type. Well, here's where I'm already setting the barrel type. Okay, so I'm already setting it to a timed barrel. Okay, well here is where I could basically force this to be the case, but I don't know if things are going to happen out of order. So is set barrel type getting called before or after we're setting it to be moving? Let's find out. Where is my object spawner? Object spawner. Scripts open all over the place. Let's close some of these. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't think I need that. Okay. Go up to my spawn next sequence and take a look. Here's where we're setting the barrel type. And we've already determined if we're blocking stationary barrels at this point. So set barrel type, randomize barrel attributes. We already know randomize barrel type, and then we're randomizing moving. Okay. I have way too much shit in this. I really need to clean up these methods. Old Jonathan coded in such an inefficient way. Okay. So then we're setting a time barrel over here. And then we're randomizing whether or not it's going to move here. Okay, so you know what? I can just do it in here. I think this is the best place. Barrel will be stationary. And then finally, if barrel type equals timed is moving equals false, no matter what. Should prevent time barrels from ever moving. Let's test it out, see if this works. Check that barrel speed, time barrel speed. Alright, main menu. Infinite mode. Cool. Of course, I can move it off the screen right now, so that's not really good. But it does let me move the time barrel up and down. That's neat. I've never had player control over the barrels before, but this feels a lot more. Yeah, that feels great. Actually, there's a good movement speed too. 5 was a solid bet. Now these guys obviously I can't control because these are there. Aha. Now I have another problem. So I'm allowing stationary bells before timed, but that's gonna take some fixing. Okay, but I love this. This is a really good idea. Also have to put in some visual indicators to let the player know that they can move time barrels. Okay. I know I have something in here about, I think in the gameplay controller, about the mid and max heights that barrels can move to. Where is that in the barrel scripts? At the scene, probably easier to tell in here. References, controllers, gameplay controller. It's gonna be something like min barrel height, max barrel height. That should be under the gameplay controller, but Why do I have a feeling it is not under the gameplay controller? Alright, take a look at these barrels. Min barrel height, max barrel height. Yeah, there it is. I have so much cleaning up of scripts to do. Okay. Where were we moving this? Set barrel moving. Move conditions met. Player move barrel. Alright, you can just do here. If barrel dot actually, hold on a sec. What was I doing here? Preventing it. Under change direction. Thinking is so hard. Why think when I can just look at my other code and copy what I was doing? If literally just copy paste what I was doing. Okay. You know what? If transform dot position dot y is less or equal to min barrel height. Yeah, don't copy when there's brackets involved. Never works well for anyone. Barrel body dot velocity equals vector 2 equals new vector 2 dot 0. No, just vector 2 dot 0. There we go. Okay, so this is for moving up, just to confirm. For moving upwards. Wait, if it's less than. No, so this should go under downwards, right? That makes sense. If it is the other way, max, if it's greater than max barrel height, then same thing. Equals 0 movement speed. Okay. Let's just test, see if that solves our little problem of barrels moving up and down too high or too low. Oh, it would also help if I select the difficulty that actually has time barrels. That might make some difference. Okay. I cannot move too high, and I cannot move too low. I am constrained within what the screen allows me to do. Here's where that problem is again. Time barrels. Time barrels need to make sure that the barrel is not timed. If it is next to a time barrel, it has to be moving. Because otherwise, the player ends up in unwinnable situations and conditions, and that just doesn't work for anyone. Also, why do I feel like the positioning is a little too high on these barrels, what they're allowed to do? Min barrel height, max barrel height, -4 to 4. I feel like 4 is too high. Let's just try -3.5 and 3.5. Take those down by 1/2 on either direction. And back into the code we go. Let's try to prevent other barrels from spawning stationary next to them. Determine block stationary, that's fine. Reposition. Okay, now we're blocking. Okay, so this is correct. We are blocking stationary. Determine block stationary. If the obstacle in front of this barrel is not moving, block this barrel from being stationary. Okay, so this is kind of what I want to do, but I need to check. Time barrel's here. The barrel in front of a time barrel can be stationary, that's fine. It's only the barrel behind the time barrel that cannot be stationary. Right, because you have a time barrel here. This is launching. If this is here, then there's no way to get into it. That's a problem. This one has to at least be giving that barrel a chance. So the barrel behind the time barrel cannot be stationary. Okay. Okay, if the object, so this is kind of the right idea over here. But now we need to do something else. If the barrel directly behind this barrel is timed, also block this barrel from being stationary. Let's move this comment up over here. This method's getting a little bigger than I would like it to be. I may have to break this down into mini methods. I don't really want to do that. You know, maybe I can just collapse these if statements. Also, let's put all the variable declarations up at the top. Okay, so this gets me a reference to the last obstacle spawned, and we have barrel, obstacle, coin, barrel. So I need to go -5 to get the previous barrel. State name controller dot spawned object last barrel equals gets spawned object object spawn pause at position -5. So that can give me the right thing. Feels like it should. Alright, well, that's one way to find out. Switch, not in brackets, switch last barrel. Also, have I used this variable named last barrel? I feel like I've probably used this. Let's just do a quick Control F. I have last barrel move. Last barrel spawn, last barrel. Nope, only here. Okay. I am safe to use that variable name. Wonderful. What was I doing in here? Because I can probably do the same thing. Okay, so I'm using this, and then I'm just doing case break. And then we'll have a default in case it's literally anything else. Don't need to do much here, just default and break right out. Okay, so we've determined it's a barrel, so last barrel dot, we're reaching into this. It's just an enum reference. How am I gonna do this? Last barrel dot, I need to know. Be more helpful if I know it is a barrel, but it's not actually giving me a reference to that specific object. That's my problem. Do I have anything here that would help me? Kind of feel like yes, but I need to do a little more coding around. Public void get current spawn pause. Not current public void, public int. Return object spawn pause. So as soon as any object is going to set its spawn pause, it's going to, actually it's going to return it at return object spawn pause minus 1 int current pause equals object spawn pause minus 1. That's because we immediately increment it. Put this by myself a comment there. Must do minus 1 because after setting, the interval is immediately increased by 1. So now I just need to track this, find our references. Okay, from here. Okay, so now I need to have a variable reference. If this seems confusing, I promise it all. There is a method to my madness. Private int ob spawn pause. And I need to have this variable in each of the scripts. We are now in, what script are we in here? Oh, but I'm setting it from here, which was genius at the time, but now that's going to screw me over. I need a separate script which can be attached to all these objects, so I only have one reference to dig into. Okay, let's get rid of this variable. Where did I just declare it? Where did I just declare object spawn pause? Ob spawn. Did I not even declare that here? Oh my god. Object spawner. Yeah, totally wrong script. Okay, game management. Spawned object tracker. Okay. Everything's going to need one of these that is tracked. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Spawned object tracker. Position. Move up. Move up. Move up. Okay, and go back. That's there. Let's override, apply all. That should now be on all the barrels. Okay, good. Now I need to do the same thing for pillars, bats, and bees that are also all tracked and also coin boxes. Okay. Spawned object tracker. Move up. I just like all my scripts to be together. Don't really have to do this, but I like trying to be as tidy as I can for my own sanity. Okay, good. Didn't screw anything up. Pillars. Now, bats. I know, and you're going to want me to open up the instance of the prefab. How many scripts? Object, enemy, auto move. Wow, it's going to have 4 scripts on this guy. At least this one shouldn't be doing very much. There we go. Yep. Open the prefab. Spawned object tracker. Put you on. Move up. Move up. Move up. Okay, exit from the bat. And bat. Override. Apply all. We'll just open the prefab this time. Spawned object tracker. Up. Up. And move up. Go back and update the B prefab. And finally, coin boxes. Oh god, do I have... Oh, this is gonna be a pain. Maybe I don't... Oh, you know what? Maybe I don't have to go into each of them. That would be nice. Can I just... Spawned object tracker, just add it on like that? Oh, yes. And all of them should have it. Okay, that was actually the easiest one. I thought that was going to be a royal pain to do that, but that was not. Now I just got to try to remember why I started doing all this in the first place. So I can make sure that barrels are not moving, and I need exact references to those specific barrels, if that makes sense. Okay. I am now in my object spawner script. Okay, so we are declaring this. I guess I should open up that object spawner script because it doesn't actually do anything yet. New script. Okay. Private int spawned object num. Public void set spawned object num int num spawned object num equals num. Public int get spawned object num. Return spawned object num. And then it's going to need a reference to the type of script that it has attached to it. So it's, let's see, it's either going to be an enemy. It's going to be an enemy. It's going to be obstacle, a barrel, or a coin box. Maybe I can just do this as a, probably as an enum. Public enum. Barrel, obstacle. No, you know what? Let's specify barrel, pillar, bat, B, coin box, and later we'll probably have items, but for now, just that. Oh, I would help if I gave it a name. Actually, I probably have an enum for this already under my state name controller. So see if I can use something that's already there. Barrel, bat, B, pillar, coin box, no. Yeah, spawned object. I already do have a reference to this. So I don't need to declare a new enum. I just need to use that exact existing one, which is under my state name controller. Spawned object. Object type. And now I need to get a reference to it under all these things. Oh, see my number's gone up. Hello, viewer. Hope you're having a nice day. Sorry, there's not too much going on graphically right now. I'm just trying to keep my head straight and do some coding while trying to remember what I'm actually doing. I started this all for a very important reason. And I'm trying to keep that all consistent. Okay, so by default it's set to barrel, so the barrels are saying they're the correct thing. That's good. Pillars should all be saying that they're pillars. Let's override the prefab. Just make sure. Yep, okay. Bats should all be calling themselves bats. Bees should all be calling themselves bees. And coin boxes of each type, doesn't matter what type they are, they should all be calling themselves coin boxes. There it is. Coin box. Override, apply all. Hey, Dan. Yes, you can watch away and watch me figure things out. Also, this is the first time, well, yesterday was the first time. Today is the second time I'm streaming in easily over a year. Maybe over 2 years. I don't know. It's been a while. It has definitely been a while. Okay, so now go into my object spawner script, and let's see, we were going to, okay, we're gonna need to get a reference to that object spawner, that spawned object. Which means we need to be passing through that script in the first place. Okay, that's where this needs to be happening. I'm gonna need to get a component for each of these. Don't want to use get component because it's gonna slow everything down. Well, maybe because it's on PC, it won't really have that problem. Maybe that's just a mobile problem. You know what? While I get my head straight thinking about how this is going to happen, Dan, I'll show you what I'm trying to do here. By the way, I have decided that I'm not going to be developing this for Android. I'm actually going to try putting this on Steam. So, which is great because it means I don't have to worry about things like ads and in-app purchases, which I hate in the first place. I just can focus on trying to do a balanced game and then make sure that it has an appropriate cost, somewhere probably between like $5 and $10. And yeah, I think there's a lot more potential for releasing on Steam as opposed to on Android. Especially since that way, you know, my friends can actually play it. Because apparently no one I know has an Android phone. Okay, so what I've done is I've developed these timed barrels here. And that works fine for the most part, except if there is a stationary barrel behind a timed barrel, it can create a situation where it's impossible for the player to land in that barrel. Oops. So far I haven't actually run into that situation, so it sounds like I don't know what I'm talking about, but I do, I promise. Yes. Well, definitely I'll have keys for all my friends too, so that will be one nice thing. You'll have an in with the developer. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Okay. So the time barrels are actually working quite nicely though, but I just can't play my own game. It's very tricky. It's very tricky. Okay. Okay, well here's the situation actually. I didn't even think of this, but now that barrel was trapped between two pillars. So this is the tricky part, because all my levels are procedurally generated. I don't actually go before them and I place barrels and objects. It's all just happens through code, which is great. It creates some random situations. I'm just trying to make sure that it only creates random fair situations and not random situations. Okay, here where we are. This barrel right here, it's actually aiming towards this time barrel, but that's just completely random. Like, it's also completely likely that this barrel could have just been, you know, pointing downwards or something and made it an impossible situation. So what I'm trying to code is to make sure that if a barrel is behind a time barrel, that barrel has to be moving, so exactly this type of situation doesn't occur. So that didn't actually prevent me in that case, but it very easily could have. And it sounds like it should be an easy thing to fix, but it's not as easy as it would come across. But I can move the time barrels. That's the cool part. It's just making sure that I can get into them in the first place. So here we go, moving this up and down. Oh, barrels are starting to spin. Part of the procedurally generated is the fun of making sure that the levels get harder the longer you survive in here too. So you might see spinning barrels start to appear, the barrel width start coming further apart, the level might start auto-scrolling, things might start moving faster, just all sorts of different possibilities. So it's actually really fun to play, as long as the difficulty is challenges that can be met, not impossible situations. Anyways, back to trying to figure out how to prevent that situation from happening. Okay. In my object spawner script, as I am declaring these through, okay, I attached these spawned object trackers on. Is there a good way that I can do this? Yes. I think so. I think I can do it. But it means I have to get a reference in each of these scripts. Yes. I'm certain it can be done. Almost certain. Mostly certain. Pretty certain. Public input variables. Okay, this is my barrel script. I need to get a reference to public spawned object tracker, just call this tracker. Give it a tooltip. The spawned object tracker attached to this item, to this game object. Okay, spawned object tracker. Okay, so that's the one on the barrels. Now I need to have one for, what was it, bats, bees, pillars, and coin boxes. I should be at Toastmasters right now, but instead I'm working on this because this is just more pressing at the moment. I have a pillar. That's what I thought. This pillar script doesn't do anything. Well, it's finally going to do something. Put that on the pillars. Put this on... Actually, all of these... I just need to have it on the obstacle strip? Obstacle script. Because all of them have that. So that should be enough. So actually, let's get it off of the pillar script, because that's kind of useless. Be gone, useless object on this empty pillar script. Is this script even being used for anything? I don't know what I was thinking when I originally put this all together. It must have been high, even though I don't use pot. That's the only logical explanation. Okay. Oh, freaking crap. Oh, no, wait, hold on. Apply. Okay, good. It gets a reference to itself. Bat. Bees. Coin boxes. I didn't put it on the coin box script yet, that's why. Yeah, that's what we've been doing. Toastmasters with Zoom for, God, it's probably been like close to a year now. I don't remember the last time. We have all sorts of members that nobody's actually met in person because everybody is just, they've joined over Zoom. I'm honestly surprised our club is doing as well as it is, though. Like, you'd think that virtually nobody's going to want to come, but it's doing really well. Like, there's a lot of people that I guess are just looking for something different to do. So they're all showing up, and we have people joining, and it's actually going great. I mean, I'd still rather be doing it in person just because it's kind of fun to do in person, but that's okay. We can take our breaks from it, too. How are you doing, by the way? What's going on with you? Anything interesting? Okay, I think... Rippers... Did I put that variable on the barrel script? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The grind does not stop at work either. Like, it just keeps going and going. I don't know how I'm able to go back and honestly just keep working on this, on the game development. The only way I guess I can do it is that I'm having fun doing all this. Somehow in my nerdiness, I'm actually having fun with all this coding. I find it kind of relaxing. Try to keep my variables organized. It's like a puzzle game of its own, just developing it. Okay. Why is this one? Okay, let's restart that. Apply all. That should be all. Okay. Good, they're all getting there. Good, you're just enjoying the downtime? Running out things to do? Yeah. Danielle, yeah, she kind of is not someone that we hear from at all these days. How'd that go? Did she message you or do you message her? That's actually very random. Okay, now in each of these methods, you know what, let's just keep it simple. I don't like referring to these things directly, but it takes me half a second to do. Control MM, close all this. Public spawned object tracker. I'll just call this get tracker. Return spawned return tracker. And I need to put the same method in my obstacle script. And also the coin box script. Well, you're a good source to talk to for that type of stuff. Reconcile, does that mean she got into it or she got out of it? Because I remember she was quite religious. When I went to her wedding, they had like a full church service. Went on for probably like an hour. We were all sitting there. Then one of her uncles was asking me if I was religious, and I was just like, no, it's not really my thing. And he was like, oh, that's too bad. True story. Very exciting. Okay, now I have a common reference to all of these things here. Yes, she has a turmoil that basically no one else has. Poor her. What an ordeal to go through. Glad she's surviving and recovering though. That's the type of thing that like always happens to someone that you don't know, so it's just crazy that it actually in this case happened to someone that we all know that and know quite well. Is it snowing? Set spawned object. Okay. Set spawned object. So here's what I need to do now. I need to begin and basically say spawned object tracker equals this barrel dot get tracker. And now we need to pass through the tracker. Okay. Obstacle. Basically, right here, we're going to say same thing. Spawned object tracker equals obstacle dot get tracker, and then set through the tracker. It's all coming together, part and parcel. Send through the tracker. Send through the tracker. And finally, same thing for the coin box. Get the tracker, send through the tracker. Now go to this actual method that we're calling here, set spawned object. And now we're going to bring in a spawned object tracker and tracker. And we're going to say tracker dot set spawned object number object spawn pause. All that to declare one variable. Holy. Yep. That certainly is a list that is only getting bigger, not shrinking down. That is for sure. I think I need a wash and break before I continue on, so I'm going to put this stream on hold for a moment. Okay, I'm back. Where was I? Set. Okay, so I have now set the spawned position in each of these. Spawn object tracker. The name obstacle does not exist in current. Oh. Yeah, I can see why. Just gonna set through null in that case. Set spawn coins. What are we doing here? Need to send through that coin box. Why am I not setting the spawn tracker there? You know what? I'm just gonna move this method and do it under here. Call it this coin box. Now we're going to say coin box, this coin box. We're just going to say if this coin box is not equal to null, we're going to track it and say this coin box dot get tracker, and now we're going to send through the tracker. Okay, that takes care of that error. It's already defined using a scope. Okay, thought because it's contained in a case that would not be a problem. Apparently it is. It doesn't matter though. Why don't I just get rid of this? I can say equal to obstacle dot get tracker, but however, if obstacle is not equal to null, unless I'm probably already checking that. Yeah, if spawn obstacle. Whatever, it doesn't hurt to have it in a... Because it can't be in a... Yeah, because it can't be in there. Whatever, if we're... Well, you know what, I'll fix that if it becomes an error, but I'm already containing it within an if statement, so I think it should be okay. Okay, now we have one more error to fix, this one up here. Set spawned object. What's your problem? Well, it would help if I set through the tracker. In this case, the tracker is just null. So that's fine. We can just send through a null tracker. Okay, all errors seem to be cleared up. Trackers have set spawned position numbers. Okay, now we can go back to our determine block stationary and take a look at what we were originally doing. Okay, if the barrel directly behind this barrel is timed, also block this barrel from being stationary. So switch. Last barrel, we're getting spawned object at that position. Int last barrel pause equals object spawn pause -5. Now, do I have something in here? Do I have a getter? I don't think I need this. What I need is yeah, I don't need that. Public spawned object tracker. Get object at pause int this pause spawned object tracker equals null, return tracker. Yes, I need a reference to all the trackers in the scene. That would make sense. Should be pause. Send spawned object. Pause. Change that to that. Get object at pause. Okay. yeah, I think I need an all trackers. Private spawned object tracker, which is an array, all trackers. And in initialization, do it under start, shouldn't make a difference. Oh, you know what? We're doing it up here, so let's just do all the others. All trackers equals game object dot find objects of type. Spawned tracker. Okay, now I have an array with all of those. For each spawned object tracker, this tracker in all trackers. If this tracker dot get spawned object pause at position this pause. Oh no. Just that. Let's just start rewriting. Equals this pause. Tracker equals this tracker, and return tracker. If tracker equals null, debug.log error cannot find tracker at requested spawn position. This pause. I believe this all is correct. We should now have our tracker. Okay, I haven't actually called that yet. That's my next thing to do. Spawned object tracker. Tracker equals get object at pause last barrel pause. Okay, now finally, spawned object tracker. Public barrel. Get barrel. I think I can just do an if statement here. If object type equals barrel, barrel, I'll just call it my barrel equals null. Return my barrel. My barrel. No, I don't actually need reference to the object type. I basically need a reference to the script itself. Oh man. Public barrel. Attached barrel. Public obstacle. Attached obstacle. But I can basically do this for anything, so this is great. Public bat. No. Enemy. Attached enemy. Public coin box. Attached coin box. Okay, so now I can say my barrel. You know what I can just say? If attached barrel is not equal to null, my barrel equals attached barrel. Else debug.log error trying to request an attached barrel from this tracker, but no barrel is attached to GameObject.name. Now the same thing for each of these other methods. One for obstacle, one for enemy, and one for coin box. Get obstacle. Obstacle. Attached obstacle is not equal to null. My obstacle is equal to attached obstacle. Return my obstacle. And this is a public obstacle. Trying to request an attached obstacle, but no obstacle is attached to. Okay. Do that 2 more times. 1 more time for enemy. Why don't I just use Control F and replace? That would be easier. That'd be much easier. Barrel. Enemy. Yeah, that made more sense. Enemy and barrel with coin box. Back into our object spawner. Barrel. Barrel equals tracker.get barrel. If barrel dot wait a second, get is moving. The barrel is behind this time barrel. Wait, no. Have I been thinking about this wrong. We're using this to spawn this barrel. We have no idea what this barrel is yet. So if we're looking at this barrel, but it's not this barrel we want to make stationary. What I've just done here is great, but the base logic is misled. My head is starting to go funny from this. If this barrel over here, this object cannot be stationary because I cannot wind up in an impossible situation. But we are currently looking at this barrel. So if this is a time barrel, then the previous barrel cannot be stationary. My logic is kind of correct, but it's in the wrong place. It's all been in the wrong place. Set barrel type. Here is where we are setting the barrel type. This barrel.randomize barrel attributes. I basically need to write a new method here to do this now. So right here, add new method to force previous barrel to move. Here. If this barrel is timed. Too many open methods, gonna be too hard to see. Object tracking, okay. Object spawning. Miss, close all this. Private void. No, private bool. Get is timed barrel. Bool is timed equals false. Return is timed. Hello, viewer. And now I'm going to say bool is time barrel equals get is time barrel. And if is time barrel, write method here to force previous barrel to be, not to be stationary, to move. Force previous barrel to move. So after going through all that rigmarole to determine if a barrel can be stationary, now I have to redetermine if it can move. Ugh. Okay, well this should be easy to figure out. Oh, also I need to pass through the barrel. This barrel. barrel, this barrel. If this barrel dot get type equals, oh come on, don't I have something in here for this? Get type. Really? Really? Did I not write a method already for this at any point? Because it's set to public. Why would this be set to public? Maybe I was referencing something? I don't know, I'm setting it to private now. Oh, I do. I have right here. This is what I'm looking for. Get barrel type. Object spawner. Get barrel type equals dot timed is timed equals true. Otherwise, it is false. Private void force last barrel move. So we'll call this appropriately up here. Force last barrel move. Okay. Now, under this determined block stationary is when I can probably do this. Gonna cut these last couple of out over here. Put this in here. Let's make sure I get my closing bracket. Okay, if that last barrel is moving. I don't really even have to do this. I just basically have to force it to move, to be stationary. Okay, now I just need to make sure, see if there's already a method in here to force it to be stationary. Yeah. Okay, you know what? Let's make a method here. I don't think I'm using this for any purposes. This will screw up the tracking here, but I'm not too concerned about that because I'm not using that tracking. It was overly zealous setting up all this tracking. Don't want this as the same method or as a different one. You know what? Let's just set this as a different one. Public void force barrel move, and then we're just going to say barrel body dot velocity equals vector2 dot 0. Just copy that up here too. That can just be vector2 dot 0. Okay, and spawn not spawned object tracker, object spawner, barrel dot force barrel move. Crossing fingers, no errors. I did everything correctly. console. Okay, no red lines. That is good. That's very good. I actually don't need this object type thing on here. Just in the instance of making everything as seamless as it can be, let's go back into the tracker script, spawn the object tracker. I feel like I could have just called this tracker. Oh well. And get rid of this object type variable that is not actually needed. Now let's see if getting rid of that gave me any errors. I think I removed all references to it already. Okay. And now, coin box. Apply. I need to set all of these correctly, or I will start getting null reference exception errors, which nobody wants, least of all me. Override, apply. Apply. Pillars. This is both. This doesn't have an enemy script, but it does have an obstacle script. Apply. The bat has both an obstacle and an enemy script. Oops. So apply. The bees have an obstacle and an enemy script. Apply. And barrels just have a barrel script. Okay, now is the moment of truth to test it out and see if it either works correctly on the first try or if I screwed something up along the way. Hopefully it works here and then I can stop and go get dinner. Even though I'm not hungry. And it does not work properly because, okay, it's a null reference exception. What am I getting? Okay, the tracker is null. I know why that's happening. I know exactly why that's happening. I just need to constrain that in an if statement. We only want to set a spawned object pause if the tracker is not null. That should be an easy fix. If tracker is not equal to null, I always put within a safety if statement. Okay, let's try that again. Whew, got scared. Mind you, if I still see all the barrels like that, I'm still going to be scared. But one mishap at a time. Okay. It's looking good. It's looking good. I need to run into some timed barrels to see if it's working or not. Okay, this barrel here is moving, so... But that could just be random. That could just be random. I need to go a little further and see if it's good or not. I need to run into more time barrels to check this out. But that's a promising start. Okay, here's another barrel that's moving behind a time barrel. So again, I think it's looking good. But really, I just need to play this a few rounds and make sure that I don't run into any stationary barrels behind time barrels. As long as I do... Nope. This barrel right here. This barrel is stationary. Damn it. Why are you stationary? Why are you not moving on me? Okay, you know what? Switch. Last barrel. Tracker get barrel at object at this position. I mean, I'm not getting any errors, and that's good. It means I'm getting good references to the objects I'm actually trying to get. Force barrel move. That barrel is moving equals true. I did not declare that true. I'm hoping it's an easy fix. Time to test it out again. And you know what? Just for easier testing, let's go in here and set the chance of a barrel being stationary to be 100%, unless it cannot be. Stationary barrels. Stationary, 100% chance on this level. 100% chance unless it would be impossible otherwise. Let's try it again. Please let it just be that I didn't declare that. Okay, this is good. This is good. This is also good. This barrel's moving behind that one. That's good. 2 times can be stationary. That's fine. It's not an impossible situation. That's all I'm trying to do is prevent impossible situations. Should never ever come to that. Oh, that was a nice launch. Good job, me. I like this new barrel effect too. I started with something easy, just making some effects look better. Give myself a couple extra lives to keep trying. Okay, this barrel's moving. It's good, good. Oh, how did I miss that barrel? But okay, I feel confident. I feel like I did it. I feel like I did it. And it was just only a couple of very small mistakes. This barrel's moving. I landed on a pillar. That's another story about making that look better, but that's for another time. Also, another story is perhaps making time barrels appear above the pillars. But that again is for something to worry about later. Do one more final check here. Keep making sure. Okay, moving barrel behind a time barrel. Good, 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 good. Very good. Time launch. Oh, those time barrels are going to be fun. It was a really good idea to make them move. Moving barrel, time barrel. Good. Again, not an impossible situation. Maybe a slightly difficult situation, but not an impossible one, that's for sure. No! Stationary! Why are you stationary? You were doing so well. You were doing so well. I mean, it's gonna let me in that barrel anyway. It's certainly not impossible, but it should not be stationary. Which means I have to go back into testing mode. You know what? First things first. Let's just make sure nothing wrong is happening here. Barrel. Game object dot name is being forced to move. Let's just see if it's actually ever getting called. And also, I want to know spawned object tracker. Int pause equals tracker dot get spawn object pause. Move. At pause. If I can't get it to work soon, I think I'll be stopping soon either way. Okay. Getting the time barrels to move was super easy. What difficulty I don't think I selected herd. Okay, it's never getting cold. Should be getting cold here on this barrel. It is never getting cold. Okay, I'm certain this method must be getting called. I think it's hitting the default. I could just have the wrong object spawn position. Let's see, it goes up by 1. So we're at this point, we should already be saying that the next on the next object. So -1 is the barrel, -2 is the coin box, -3 is the obstacle. So maybe -4 is what I should be looking for. You know what? Just what's the point of guessing? Let's just print last barrel.name. Okay, just print last barrel. Let's just see what it's referring to. Referring to barrel. It is, it's getting the barrel. Oh, if it's moving, we're forcing it to move. If it's not moving, let's force it to move. That makes way more sense. That makes way more sense. Barrel 3 is being forced to move. Yes. Yes. Eureka. Third time is the charm. I believe I have now done it. Because I am actually seeing these print statements here in the console. indicating that the method is getting called. It is forcing the barrels to move. Yep. Force barrel moves. I feel reasonably satisfied that I have accomplished it. I am seeing those print statements indicating as much. Just gonna get rid of this. I don't need this to see this reference anymore. That is a good amount of coding on Zombie Barrel Blast for today. Time to wrap it up. Time to get food. Peace out. Until next time. Thanks for watching.